Okay, thanks. Thanks, Dermot. Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this information session. It's about careers in some of the programs in the Computer Science and Information Systems Department. I want to express my apologies again for being late and my thanks to everybody who covered for me while I was away and made it look so seamless, like it was all planned, which it wasn't. We have 4 degree programs that we want to talk about this evening, and the order of them that we'll take them in is LM113, which is BSc in Interaction Design, and I did get the name wrong. I need to hold up on my course names. It was formerly Digital Media and Design, but it's now called Interaction Design. And we have with us Sarah Carey, a very talented recent graduate from that program. She's going to talk a bit about your experience during college and since college. Yeah, Sarah? Yeah. And Giuseppe then is a past course director of LM114, which is the BSc in Music, Media and Performance Technology. He'll take you through the high points of that one, right, Giuseppe? Yeah. And then we have Tamara. Tamara, you're a second year in the LM173. This is the ISE Immersive Software Engineering, and you've done how many residencies out in industry? You've done 2 already, have you? You're on your second one. Okay, so you're taking time off from a busy work schedule, yeah, to be here. Okay. And finally, we have Michael McCarthy at LM174. So this is very important. That's an important typo. LM174 is the code for the integrated BSc and MSc in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. And Michael is a second year student in that. Also, all of these courses are in the Department of Computer Science and Information Systems. Some people might be wondering why we have Sarah, who's a graduate, and we just have second year students for LM173 and LM174. The reason for that is that both of those programs, these 2 last programs, they're quite new. They're only in their second year. So these 2 students, Tamara and Michael, they're as advanced as we've gotten with that. So I think without further ado, I can call Sarah, please. Sarah, would you like to come up and talk through? Sorry, hold on. There are a couple of new slides that I didn't realize were here as well. Another point that's worth making is that previously LM113 and LM114 were what was called a common entry, LM122. Now, people won't find LM122 in the CAO application form anymore. They've been split off into courses LM113 and LM114. Yeah, they're offered as direct entry now. Maths requirement for both of those courses, a minimum grade of O3 or H7 for those ones. And this holds for the other 2 programs, LM173, Immersive Software Engineering, and LM174, the Integrated Bachelor's Masters in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. They have a H requirement, a higher maths requirement. If you feel if you didn't do as well as you wanted to do in your maths leaving, there's a special maths exam offered by the university. It's weeks. It's in late August, I believe. So you do need to be watching out for it. But it's an opportunity. Once the Leaving Cert results come out, if you find that you haven't achieved what you want to in that, you have another shot at it. And this is only offered in UL, but UL will substitute the results of this exam for your Leaving Cert results. Yeah, the dates of the exam are coming. I mean, do we know when the dates of the Leaving Cert results will be released? I don't, and it may change again. I mean, the minister is trying to get it back to the pre-COVID release dates, but I don't know when it'll be. So what we're saying here is usually the Thursday, the week after results. There's another career information evening coming out on an evening like this. I don't know if you'd like to venture out another Thursday evening, but if you would, we're going to talk about direct entry science programs, and that'll be next Thursday, a week from this evening. So thank you, and apologies for the glitches. Dermot is going to
swap over the presentation.
Swap over presentations. It's good that he's not going to trust me to do it. You wouldn't think I worked in a computer science department. There you go. So now we can call on Sarah, and Sarah, second time lucky.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Sarah Carey, and I studied digital media design in the University of Limerick, now known as Interaction Design. The reason I chose digital media design is because I've always had an interest in design. So I studied technical graphics and art for my junior cert cycle, and I went on to study digital communication graphics for my leaving cert cycle. I also plagued my dad to use Paint on his computer from the age of 4. So I've always had an interest in design and technology. The reason I chose UL is not only because it held my dream course, but it also, the student life really suited me. So I actually worked in the UL swimming pool for 2 years before I came to UL and heard all the great stories. I love to swim and surf and socialise with my friends, and UL had all of that here for me. I also have dyslexia, and UL have great supports for students with learning difficulties, and it was just really appealing to me. So the subjects you study, I know you see sociology there, but it's a great module for learning how to research and how to write your academic papers. We also have mathematics, like Paddy showed earlier. You need your H7 or your O3 to get on the course, but the maths is technology based, so it's more algebra and calculus. We also have an extensive line of design modules. Does anyone know what UX or UI design is? Yeah, so it's user experience and user interface design. We also do some programming, and in our final year we do some games design. We use Unity, so that's designing and the programming, and we also work on our portfolio and CVs to get ready for the corporate life. So here's some of the projects. Like, it's a very project-based course. Most modules have projects. Here's just a sample of a few of the projects that I did over the years. There's one for sound engineering. We got to go in and shake a few Pringle cans, and we built an advert, basically. It was really cool. That's a laptop stand for my product design. And then that's just an example of when I did some UX and UI and product design, we combined it all in together. And for my cooperative placement, I worked here in Limerick in John Square with the Fresh Film Festival. So that was really good for learning how to work in a database, and it also gave me great interpersonal skills. I was working with a wide range of people and students. So the festival mainly focuses on students who create films. We create this big festival. We create showcases for this You Judge It festival. So we send that out to schools. They pick the best film and we give out prizes. I also worked on various workshops, film workshops, met some amazing producers and directors, and we also shot a music video for a local band here with a group of students, and that's just a few pictures of that, but I got to really used to camera work and that. For my final year project, so I can't fully remember my titles, apologies about that, it's been a while, but basically my title was to unite a physical community online. So I created this application called Shield, and that would basically run off the student's personal profile here in UL. So when you got your Solus account, you'd get your Shield account. And what that was is to help with nighttime safety. So let's say if I was like, I'm walking home from the library by myself, is anyone else going to Kilmurray Village? They'd put it in, and there might be a group of us who'd walk home from the library or something like that. We'd also have supports on it. There was self-defense training on it. There was safety resources, things like that. So it was a really fun project to do. So this is a little bit about my student life. So in UL, I joined a few clubs. my favorite was probably the UL Swim Club. I was in the swim club for 5 years, swam for my 4 years of college, and then they gave me a year grace when I graduated. So 5 years in the UL Swim Club, and I did my first and second year in the UL Surf Club. We had so many trips. It was so much fun. I also joined a few societies. So I joined the UL YSwim Society, which gave me the opportunity to like explore different avenues of STEM. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and maths. I think I got that right. So I got to meet girls from other courses, other like-minded women like myself, and it was really encouraging for me to join that society because it really encouraged me into my STEM career. They also gave me the opportunity, made me aware of different scholarships here in UL. So I won the Johnson & Johnson scholarship here when I was in 2019, I think it was. So I got to team up with a group of girls, and basically what we did was try and encourage younger students into STEM. And I also won the Women's Encouragement Scholarship. So we got to submit this poster, and it was a big global thing, and it was really fun. Now you see the Tea Drinking Society. I know you're wondering what that is. But I joined the Tea Drinking Society in first year, and I think it was the biggest club when I was in first year. But as I said earlier, I love to socialize with friends. So that was great for building my network, and I got to try some really cool tea.
So it's not a misprint.
It's not a misprint. That's a real society here in UL. Yeah. Yeah, and I was also given the chance to explore my creative side as well. Like I wasn't just studying and to the books the whole time. UL gave me time as well to go and explore the things. So what do I do now? So I work in Dell Technologies. I know my job title is a software engineer, but I'm actually a product design analyst in a product design team called Team Member Experience. And basically what we do is we take softwares that are already here in Dell and we make them more accessible and usable. So accessible in regards to let's say neurodiversity, difficulties with sight and things like that. And for usability, just making the overall UX a lot better and making it look a lot prettier. These are just some of the lovely events I got to do with Dell. We have a tag rugby team. We have a soccer team. So I still get to keep my sporty side. We also go out to different universities, encouraging the grad programs. We have resource groups, which are just for employees to come together and network. I'm recently just back from America. Dell sent me over with Forbes magazine to go to the Forbes 30 under 30. That was a great experience. Got to meet so many amazing people from all around the world. Here's some of the possible careers after the course. These are just some from my peers. So if you have any questions on some of these careers, let me know. And here's a list of some of the companies that past students have been hired by. This course is so attractive, I think, to employers because not only is it design, but there's also the technology side. So it really has a great combination of both and a great balance of both throughout the course. But yeah, thank you. If you have any questions. No?
So, anybody got any questions?
Ask Andy.
Thanks very much. There might be questions online. Do you
We'll have a look.
Can you check that?
No. Okay, hold on now. The transcript, I don't want that. No questions. No questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done a fine job, Sarah.
Done a fine job. Well done, Sarah. Okay, so who's next, Benny?
I think it's going to be Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giuseppe. Giuseppe, yeah.
Does it go full screen? No? Oh, it's just PDF.
It's just a PDF, so I would leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it into full screen because it should be Teams.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Okay, yeah, so my name is Giuseppe. I'm the former course director for the Music and Media Performance Technology. The current course director is Robin Palmer, who asked me to step in for him tonight as he's performing for a festival, also, which is a festival actually organized by another colleague of mine, Jürgen Simpson, and his Spring Dance Festival. And I highly encourage you to go and see it. It's in Limerick all this week and next week as well. Okay, so I'll talk about this course, Music Media Performance Technology. Oh, sorry. I have to also say why there's no student here, past students here, simply because the person we called had to cancel for work reasons, and to get people on such a short notice is basically impossible. So I'm stepping in. That's me now. But it will be my care actually to show you that our students are highly, highly successful, as you will see now in these slides. Okay, so you will be interested in this course if you are interested not only in technology, so to learn to use or develop technologies, but also if you have or you're interested in developing those skills into the artistic realm. And so we work with the cultural sector and anything that is involved in the cultural sector, and also with technology. So what do? We do audio recording, video production, sound synthesis, physical computing, 3D modeling, design, augmented reality and virtual reality, media coding for live performance and installations. Down below there, in this slide, you can see a list of software we use, just a very short list. We use much more than that. But as you can see, we have lots of recording studios. We do audio recording, we do video production, and we create sounds digitally, but also physical computing. For example, it means that we create, for example, musical instrument or instrument for visual artists, starting from the simple electronic components, and then here you have a new set of instruments that students may use for their own practice if they want to engage and develop an artistic practice, or our students will be the kind of engineers that then get in touch with artists, and artists will use it. So as I said, we work with the cultural sector, and we're non-biased in that regard. This course tries to give a really broad picture to what it means to make art in a highly technological world as the one we live in. So in that sense, we foster technical skills, but at the same time, critical and critical analysis and kind of theoretical understanding of the media and artistic practice that subtends the use and development of these kind of technologies. So for example, here in this picture, you see one of my colleagues, Jürgen Simpson, is performing one of the music events we organize. The next one will be actually next week. If you're interested, it's a free event where students and staff and external guests are invited to perform, and it's done on the record room in the commercial downstairs, Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. All welcome. These are our facilities. We have 2 recording studios with top of high-end technology and hardware. We have modular synths. I don't know if you're familiar with this kind of equipment. Well, surely you will be familiar with the synthesizers, the kind of keyboards on the right. But the other one you see on your left is a synthesizer. It's just you have voltages, electricity passing through, and through a series of cables and knobs, you create sounds by modeling this current flow. We also have a 32-channel immersive sound system called Spade. This kind of facility can be used for artistic purposes. For example, if you're interested in developing music composition for 32 channels. Some of you might be familiar with surround sounds, which is a 5.1 usually. We go up to 32. This is a kind of one of the few facilities that exist in Ireland. But it can be used not only for artistic purposes, such as music composition, but also for data analysis. This facility is being used also, I don't know, to explore sonically large data sets. And this is a kind of research facilities. Usually these kind of facilities are accessed by our 4th years if they engage in a final year project, so the final work that needs that kind of specialized equipment. Then of course we have plentiful of video equipment. Here we just see a simply boom microphone and a camera, but there is much more of that. Here, more of our performances. Me and my colleagues all belong to a kind of a research cluster called Digital Media Arts Research Center, where precisely we explore this kind of crosstalk between technologies, digital technology or electronics, and arts. Most of us are seasoned art practitioners and researchers in academia. And we also invite through this kind of research cluster, we invite international guests from all over the world to perform and present their work, which could be technical or artistic oriented. This is some of the outputs of our research cluster. Books that engage, as I said, like we use technology, we develop technology, but also we engage in the kind of aesthetic issues subtending the use and development of that technology. And that leads, of course, to philosophical reasoning, discussion, and that can be, say, published in the form of a book. This is the festival that I talked to you about. It's called Live Moves, and it's one of a kind. I highly recommend you to go and attend it. And there are many shows on. It's just not the only one in Ireland. It's probably the only one in Europe. And the featuring artist of that festival would be people that have exposed and presented the work at the Biennale in Venice. That kind of caliber. And of course, also us. Some of my colleagues are presenting too. Yeah. Then we organize, as I said, these kind of events, but this is just one of many that we organize throughout the year. Next one is on Tuesday, 8 p.m. in the Commercial downstairs. Please do come as well if you want to get to know and talk to us. If you are a performer, talking to the audience here and the audience online, get in touch with us. If you want to perform, we're going to put you on the list for the next one, and we get to know each other. And here, just a quick overview of semester one, just to give you an idea of what the kind of stuff we study. These are the modules in semester one. We have graphic design, where there will be an introduction to the idea of designing through digital tools. Introduction to digital media, it's a more theoretically grounded module, which will talk about the way digital media and digital technology can be used within a societal context. Media programming is an introductory module into coding. Digital audio fundamentals will be the first module where we bring students to the recording studio. And then we have technological mathematics 1, followed by, we remove technological mathematics 2. So one thing that I wish to stress here is that the program you will see, if you look for this course online, the kind of program outline will be different. Okay, these are just changes. This is a new structure to the course, which is currently does not appear on the UL website if you go there. Okay, so this is just one of the this is important. Then the second semester we have perceptual system and multimedia, which talks about how we perceive sound, how we perceive visual information. Introduction to web development, self-explanatory. It's an introduction to the development of web pages. Media programming 2 leads on from media programming 1, and it's a more advanced coding for the arts. Again, we try to teach these kind of ideas of programming and coding through the development of music or visuals or interactive pages, for example, or software. Music and computers is the first module where we start composing music with digital audio workstation. Many students join the course which will be familiar with the kind of stuff, but others wouldn't be totally unfamiliar with digital audio workstation, not familiar with music ideas, and that's totally fine. We welcome everyone and we bring everyone from the ground up. And then algorithm and generative composition is a module that talks about how to generate music and visuals through rules. This seems to be a novel idea. Well, in fact, it is not. Mozart has done this. So there's a famous, the dice composition of Mozart, where bars of a composition were played in an order given by the throw of a dice. Okay, and we create the same idea. The same idea is present through digital tools and in this case through programs. We create rules and music is generated through those rules. Okay, I will stop here. I won't give you an overview of all the modules, but the red one are, if you take notes, the one highlighted in red are the one that differ from the version that you would see online. Then, of course, we are also engaged with the cooperative education program and the final year. Again, few small changes there, and I'll just pause the slide for a second if you want to take a screenshot, and I'll move on. So, what our students do after the course? Well, it's up to them, of course, but lots of our students works in a wide variety of industries, creative industries. So you can become a multimedia programmer. So those people will be the people that support the technology of artists. If you ever been to a gig of, I don't know, some famous person that, I don't know, fills up stadiums, the work that is behind the curtain is huge, okay? And the level of sophistication of today's industry is impressive, okay? And the industry, the media industry requires this kind of skills. People that are well able to understand aesthetic intents, aesthetic discourse, but at the same time have a solid technical skills. And our students work in that kind of industry. You can become a sound engineer and producer, video producer. These will be more familiar terms. With people, sound designer, also like Foley's effect, for example, or sound designer is also somebody that creates sounds for video games, for example, right? Animator, 2 or 3D animator, installation design, VJ, projection, electronic musician, audiovisual artist. Other students will follow up their course of study with specialized masters. But the general idea is, again, that you work in the creative sector in the technology department, and you can be a developer of technology, or you will be an artist yourself. Some examples. So, for example, this is a student that worked and became the light and sound technician for a cruise, the Quantum of the Sea, Royal Caribbean. And he was in charge of the entire theater settings. Now, of course, here you see only lights and you think that it's just flicking buttons, but it doesn't look, believe me, it's not like that. It's a highly, highly sophisticated technology that is behind the curtains. Then we have also incredibly successful students. Some of you might be familiar with this series. Alison Griffith actually won a BAFTA award. She was put in charge of the entire visual effect department for that series 5 years after graduating, and she won a BAFTA award for the visual effect in that series. For those of you who don't know, like a BAFTA award generally is given to highly seasoned artists or people in certain disciplines, and she was probably, I don't know, 29 at the time. If you are from Limerick or if you follow the music scene, you will know this guy, Morley, is also a graduate of ours or courses, and is a member of the Rusangano family, and currently living in Limerick as well. And that's it. That's me. If you have any questions, you can ask here now to me, or that's the email of the true course director, Robin. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Giuseppe.
Thank you.
Are there any questions there, John? Would you mind?
Check there, yeah.
While you're checking, Giuseppe, one of the things I noticed on the first slide was, when you introduced the syllabus, you said that you share a lot of modules with your sister course, which is the interaction design.
Yeah.
If somebody came onto one of them and they decide they liked better what was going on in the others, would there be an opportunity to
use the mic there? That's it. Yeah. So Yeah, absolutely. This is the case, and has been the case when the course was a common entry.
Yeah.
Yes, you can enter in one course and switch to the other.
Yeah.
And generally the switch is seamless, especially if you do that in the first year. The two courses, now Mark is going to present the, no, sorry, the one that Sarah presented. Yeah, they share a lot in common. And as we progress to year 4, they share less. So sometimes these changes happen generally one way, or it's bi-directional in that sense. Some people switch and other people. So, the sooner it's done, the better. But it's possible, definitely possible. Yeah.
Sorry, can I ask a question, Paddy?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, just one question. Do I have to be a talented musician, ideally, to progress through LN 114 MNPT?
No, no. We assume zero knowledge from everyone. I mean, some people, that's the idea. So, yeah, if you play an instrument, many people, I mean, I've been a course director, and this is one of the questions was coming the most, like, do I need to play an instrument, to know how to play an instrument to join the course? No, the answer is no. We do not care if you, I mean, if you have a background, that's great. It's good for you, but we teach, the course engages with digital arts in general. So it's not specific to music, it's specific to music, performance and technology, but in that sense include also video, visual art, interactive installations, and we bring students from the ground up together. So they come with their own background. Some students join the course and say, I want to become a DJ. Fine, they join the course and they discover they become awesome coders or filmmaker, video producer. Somebody likewise thinks I want to do movies, they discover music and they become musicians or recording engineers. Yeah.
Very good. Great, thanks. And while you're on the floor, Giuseppe, Joachim asked the question about his son who wanted to do modeling. I noticed that you mentioned that you do some 3D modeling in this course as well.
Yeah.
Is that a significant block of it, or is it just a small portion?
It's a small portion.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be for this student here.
It depends. Yeah, it depends. Well, I mean, if the student is oriented just on 3D modeling, then no. This is an undergrad course, a course that tries to bring to light or to the attention of pupils the wide variety of possibilities of technology in the cultural sector. Yeah. Blender and 3D animation and things, it's a component, but there's no main component in the course.
Very good. No. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. What we got next, Paddy? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tomorrow next. If you're all right for that one.
Yeah, tomorrow.
There we are. Yeah. Take it away, Tamara.
Thank you. So welcome everyone. My name is Tamara and I'm a second year student studying immersive software engineering. So a little bit about me. I graduated secondary school in 2022, and for my chosen subjects in the Leaving Cert, I did accounting, design and communication, graphics, Spanish and engineering. And before that, in the Junior Cert, I did art and business. So design and communications, graphics and engineering had been new subjects for me. And when I came into this course, I had limited knowledge of coding and computers, as my school didn't offer computer science or technology. But I saw ISE as my next big challenge, and luckily I got in. So I'm currently part of the first cohort of students to have taken this course. I'm in second year and I'm currently working at a company called Biotis as part of my second residency. So the course and why I chose it, for me it was very appealing to get a master's qualification in 4 years. The course is advertised as you spend 50% of your time on paid residencies. And it was amazing for me that after 1 year of study, I got to experience what real life is like in industry. So I completed my first residency or paid placement during the summer, which was 10 weeks. And I'm currently on my second one, which is 15 weeks, and it's the whole of a regular autumn semester in UL. So another thing that might be appealing to people is that this is a continuous project-based assessment type of course. So you complete projects and they are graded, and that's what you get your grade for. And this course was designed for students who want to create the future in technology. So it's for ambitious people who see a vision in technology and want to be a part of it. So software engineering is debatable of how you define it. So the main idea is that you design, develop, test, and maintain software products that your users need. Ideally, you build something that they need and not something that they want. And part of software engineering is understanding what your users need. And there will be a lot of debates on what they want and what they need. And being a software engineer is knowing what kind of tools, programming languages to use to achieve that. The difference between software engineering and computer science is that computer science is more theory-based, whereas software engineering teaches more practical skills and how to apply the theory that's in computer science. So the first year of ISE for me, in semester 1, there's 2 modules. In semester 2, there are also 2 modules, but each module is split into different kind of subjects. So we learn mathematics, we get an introduction to programming and programming concepts, and they teach that in Java. We also use no-code, low-code tools to get a grasp of these concepts as well. We studied basic computer science theory that would have been taught in secondary school. We also had a track in professional preparedness, which prepared us for industry. We were taught how to act in a professional setting and how to go to interviews, how to write a CV. We also had several guest lecturers come from all over the world, like Germany and Australia, to teach us. So we also learned about DevOps and compilers. In the second semester, we learned Python as our second language. We used that for data analytics. We also learned about databases and data structures and algorithms. And semester 2 is basically building up on knowledge learned in semester 1, and with a load of different things added on. But you also go back over things that you learned in semester 1 so that you really cement that knowledge in your mind. So at the end of semester 2, the focus was really on getting us prepared for residency 1, which is during the summer. We took on another language, C and C++. We had to build a game with that language. We also had API design, user interface design, software development lifecycle, software architecture, and a whole load of different things that I didn't mention here. Moving on, the residencies. So residencies, as we call them, they're paid work placements or paid internships. They work the same as modules do. So you go to a company, you do an interview, and when they take you on, you get a set of learning objectives that you have to focus on, and the company will help you achieve those so that you stay on track and you practice what you've already learned in college. So my first residency, I went to Dublin to a drone delivery company, and I was part of the front-end development team, and I was part in making a mobile application. So first residency lasted 10 weeks, and now I'm in my second residency. I'm currently finishing week 10, I believe, and I will be there for another 5 weeks. Currently, I'm at Viotus, which is a smart grid and demand response technology provider company. I'm working on developing a web application that will be used internally by the company. So before anyone gets scared, you're not thrown into this alone. You will have someone there with you, so another classmate, and you will be working with them closely. And the ISE team will also be checking in on you almost every week, so that you don't get lost or worry about anything. Student experience at ISE. So as I've mentioned, this is an immersive learning experience, and it tries to mirror what the industry will be like. You get hands-on experience and you learn by doing. There's a big emphasis placed on collaboration and teamwork, and the ISE studio is created in such a way to promote this. So the desks are all movable. You can rearrange them in groups or in a large circle, and you can work collaboratively there. So you graduate with 2 years of work experience, and you get valuable industry connections, which gives you a significant advantage to other graduates who would not have had that much work experience. It's usually only in year 3 that you go on co-op. This course is designed for ambitious and hardworking people, as there's not a lot of free time that you have besides doing the course. So it requires you to have a constant effort, and you have to put all of your efforts into this and all your energy, but it will be worth it in the end, I believe. ISE offers 2 scholarships that are sponsored by Intercom and Transact Campus. These are 3 current second-year students that I study with. In both of these scholarships are valued at €10,000 each. So last year, Intercom scholarship went out to Rosie Kennelly and Emily Royce. It's actually meant for one person, but the Intercom team were wowed by their entries, so they decided to split the scholarship. And the second scholarship went to Pardis. She's a dear friend of mine, so I was very happy for her. And so a little bit about Intercom. Intercom is a business that helps people deliver ongoing engagement with customers through personalized and in-context communications across channels, including in-product messaging, email, and more. So whenever you went to a site where you wanted to buy something and you saw a little pop-up with customer service, that's what they do. And Transact Campus builds mobile-centric and personalized and individualized apps for universities, so that people can pay with their smartphones for things like their food in the USA and getting into buildings and stuff. So if you want to find out more about ISE, these are all the social media platforms that you can find them on. And thank you for listening. Any questions?
Okay, thank you very much, Mara. Any questions for Mara? In the audience, or?
I think we might have one here. Okay. Do you choose where to go for your residencies, or are they assigned?
Mixed. So you get a list of projects that you can pick. You choose your preferences, put them in order, and based on your grades, they get raffled out. So the people with the highest grades get their first preferences and so on. So you do get to choose the order of your residencies, but you're not guaranteed to get your first choices.
Okay.
And it is paid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, there's another one here. Do you know if you still have to do a portfolio if you want to apply for 2024? I heard they were going to remove it, but it's still there on the IC website.
JJ, would you address that?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Tamara, for the presentation. It was great. The portfolio is still under review. It's under forensic analysis. And this is in light of, for example, ChatGPT, generative AI, which can synthesize parts of the portfolio with good prompting. We will have a final decision next week, and it'll be up on the website will be updated.
Okay.
Very good. Thanks, JJ.
There's another one there, JJ. Are the modules different to computer science modules? And which would you say are about the similarity? What would you say about the similarity between them? Is there a similarity between them? Computer science and ISE?
Well, ISE is computer science, for example, autumn semester, first year, students studied 5 modules. I think, sorry, your first name? Michael from LM 174, his traditional structure. He'll talk about that briefly. So you're studying 5 subjects concurrently at the same time. In ISE, it's 1 block at a time. So the first block in the autumn semester is problem solving with computers, a bit of maths and programming. The second block then that follows on from that is effectively building software with people, a focus on team-based development of systems, etc. So it's a different philosophy about how you go about teaching. It's not the case that one is better than the other. They're just different flavors.
Okay. Is that okay for you, Tim? You have no further add-on question there? No, it doesn't seem to. There's no typing going on. Okay, so who's the
Very good. Our final speaker then is Michael McCarthy from LM 174, which is the integrated bachelor's and master's for artificial intelligence and machine learning. And I say integrated bachelor's and master's because you can graduate with a master's. You can go straight through from the 4-year bachelor's to the 5-year master's, which is a little bit different to what Tamara talked about. She said you can get out in 4 years with a master's with her program, but it's more intensive. So, Michael, can I ask you to, before you start, have any of you started thinking about staying on for a master's, or is that too far down the line?
There's been a bit of chatter, all right.
Yeah.
A few people are trying to sum up themselves which they prefer.
Yeah.
Because definitely the master's is it's very attractive, especially with some of the modules on offer there. There's some deep reinforcement learning, just evolutionary computation, human robotics. So interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I should have left that till the end, but I was just, so
No worries.
Michael, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael McCarthy. I'm a second-year student here in UL. I'm studying artificial intelligence and machine learning. And I'll start off the presentation here. So why I chose to study the artificial intelligence and machine learning at UL. So the first reason I chose it was because I want to be part of cutting edge technology. I mean, in the media nowadays, especially artificial intelligence, it's a massive buzzword. Everyone's always talking about it. So I said, let's try and get on the ground floor of this and see how it plays out. So as well as that, then I already had a fascination with artificial intelligence. Part of that because, of course, watching movies and playing games, you're always hearing about that. But another thing was in 6th year, when I was in secondary school, for engineering, for the Leaving Cert, the special research topic was all about artificial intelligence, and doing the research for that was fantastic. I really enjoyed doing that. So then when I eventually saw on CEO the offer to go and study artificial intelligence in Limerick as well, I thought it'd be a no-brainer. So that's what I did. And as well as that, then UL, I'd also heard had fantastic sports facilities, had a great student life. So I said that would also be a great added bonus. So as for what have I learned so far? Again, I'm a second year, so we've done about a year and some change at this point, which is 3 semesters. And as JJ was saying earlier, with these traditional type semesters, you get 5 modules, and some of those have exams, some don't. I'll touch a bit about that later. But you do 5 semesters in 1 semester, and there's 2 semesters, 10 in total. So far, I've done several unique programming paradigms, so several different programming languages. Java would be our main one. We did a bit of Julia with Paddy earlier on in 1st year, with some Racket, Python, C, a few different things. Another thing as well, machine learning algorithms. We had a whole module dedicated to machine learning. We had to develop a full project based around machine learning, and we had pretty much free reign in that, so we all had great fun with that. And the best thing was it's not all software. There was a little bit of hardware involved. You could get cameras, sensors, that kind of stuff. So it's hands-on as well, which is nice. Then as for the math side of things, we did some linear algebra, vector analysis, calculus. So they're tough enough maths, but if you can get through those, we're doing well. Then as well as that, graphical representations of data. So a lot of kind of analyzing graphs and even making our own graphs. So we had a project there in first year where we had to basically analyze some data from Ed Aaron and put together a heat map looking at different wind kind of data there. So I said a bit about calculus as well. So multivariable calculus is a big part of artificial intelligence, especially for creating neural networks, which is something that I get to look forward to down the line. The theory behind programming, that was a full 2 modules that we had dedicated to that. So learning why we program the way we do and syntax, semantics, that kind of stuff. And at the moment, we are looking at operating systems and database systems to get a better idea of the actual technology that's hardware and software we're working with. So I'll talk a little bit about the course itself. So what is it actually like? Well, first thing, it is definitely challenging. So if you're aware that way that you like challenges, this course is for you. It does require multi-dimensional thinking in the sense that you really do have to approach a problem from multiple different angles. You have to think about all possible outcomes of doing certain things. So a good example of that would be in certain programming projects. You might think it'd be a good idea to do a certain thing a certain way, but then later on down the line, you realize that maybe I shouldn't have done that and try something else. But that also is a good part as well, because you get to do a bit of trial and error. You get to figure things out for yourself, which is nice as well. You need to be able to work as a team. So as of current, we have, I think it's about 20-something people in there. So it's quite a tight-knit group, but as a result, we're always getting on great with each other. We do a lot of project work, which we always bounce off each other. We make sure we run things by each other just to see how other people are doing things. And it's nice because you really get to see things from different angles, which again goes back to the multidimensional thinking. You have to be self-motivated because there's a lot of challenging things in this course. So you have to be able to push through that. A good part of that is the fact that we are such a close-knit course and that teamwork is so important. So as a result, you all try and get each other going and make sure that you're actually putting in the work, which is great. This course really does encourage self-learning. A big part of it would definitely be researching things yourself to implement into code. So you're provided a good groundwork to begin with, but if you go off and you learn certain things yourself, I've seen myself, I've done it myself, having that initiative really does pay off and it does pay dividends. And as well as that, then it's not all exams. There are, as I said, a lot of project work, which is great for some people because not everyone is exam wired, shall we say. So some people do prefer projects. I myself, I'm partial to both. So it's nice to have that. So that about wraps it up for what I have to say. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, do pop in the chat or let me know.
All right, thanks very much, Michael. Any questions from the floor on that? Anything coming up there in the chat, Dermot?
No, they're the ISC questions. Yeah, nothing
different. Well, I suppose you could ask the same question about this one as well. Couldn't you, Michael? I mean, there are some similarities between our LM121 computer science course and this one. There you overlap some,
That's right,
but you do
overlap on certain modules, which is great as well because you're always meeting new people as well, partial results. So it's great because we're casting a wide net at the very beginning, getting all the tools we possibly need down the future. So that's great as well.
Okay, very good. Did you have your hand up?
Yeah, great talk, Michael. Thank you. I have one question. So if I understood properly, you did computer science for Leaving Cert. You talked about a research project on AI.
So that was for engineering in 6th year. There's an optional second question you can take where essentially every year it's a different topic. And this year, in 2022, when I did the Leaving Cert, it just happened to be artificial intelligence. So the very minute I saw that piqued my interest, and that's how I ended up getting more and more into artificial intelligence.
Is there any advice you would give to current Leaving Cert students who are not studying engineering or computer science? Where might they go to get an insight into what is AI, machine learning?
Well, what I would recommend is, as I said earlier, with self-learning, that is a big part of it. So I recommend you do your own bit of research at home. I think some good places to start, for programming, for example, we use Java a lot. So Java is something that's quite important. C as well is a good one. So those two, as for artificial intelligence and machine learning, I do feel that they are pretty well self-contained. So if we don't know too much, we'll get taught what you need.
But I ask you, Michael, from your experience, did many of your colleagues, you know, either in your own cohort or in the wider cohort, have programming coming into first year? You know, would you be at a disadvantage to not having done programming?
Well, in certain aspects, you would. I wouldn't say it's a requirement in that sense, but absolutely it does help. But I have noticed that people who did do programming tend to perform better. They have more confidence when it comes to approaching the program. I feel like that just having the knowledge of one programming language, it really does give you the confidence to approach even a brand new programming language. You'll notice differences, of course, but you'll also see similarities. So as a result, you're kind of able to think on your feet better with the programming languages.
Yeah, okay.
Marie does ask the question there in relation to the balance of social. You know, do you get much time for yourself? Like, do you think you can balance this course well while doing sports or social activities, or does this course take up a lot of your time?
I think that, well, I suppose a big part does come down to your own kind of self-structuring your day. I think I have a pretty regimented day. I keep track of all my hours, so as a result, I have plenty of time to do whatever I need to. So I do sports as well. That's another thing is part of the outdoor pursuits club here in UL. So I also have plenty of time for that. We often go weekend trips, there's trips during the week. So I would say that there is a good balance between student life and studying this course. It is a bit intense, but it's manageable.
Okay, yeah. Well, as long as you keep on top of it. That's...
Yeah, of course. I'd
add to that in first year, the cohort behind you, Michael, there's a guy who's on a sports scholarship with the basketball club. So he manages to perform at the level of university, well, Irish university basketball, not quite the same as US university, but you know, he manages both of those.
Does anyone have any questions in the room here? I know we have two people here. Do you want to ask any questions of the graduates, or?
All pretty clear, was it?
Yeah.
I was just curious about the requirement for coding, either versus or the field science. That's been on.
Okay. Anyone? Any more questions online? Anyone? No.
Do any of the course directors here want to say anything else? Giuseppe, you spoke, but Mark, do you want to add anything?
I don't know. I think Sarah did a great job of selling our course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Come and do interaction design. That's what it is.
I want to do interaction design. Thank you, Sarah. Go back and do it.
All right. Well, if there are no more questions online, there are no more questions on the floor here. We'll wrap it up and thank everybody for coming. It was an awful night to come out, so I'm very grateful to the listeners, but also the presenters, all three of you. And, well, do you count as a presenter as well? That's great. Yeah. So
there's another one next week, isn't there? If anybody,
yeah, there is for the common entry science courses.
Common entry science, if anybody's interested in that, it's the same time next Thursday.
And it's available online.
Available online as well. Of course. Okay.
All right, let's leave it there and thank the speakers for a great job.
Okay, we'll end it there. Oh, no, he put his hand up. Oh, so they're just saying thanks, I think. Okay, all right, okay, that's it.
All right, thanks, Jeremy, as well, for managing the IT. Thank you. Oh, not at all.